right, first and foremost, give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh, Shai, I do the tribe of Gad. You got guys going around talking about the native Indian man is not an Israelite. Anybody who says that is what we call what a goddamn fool. All right, we don't care. We're not holding punches to spare feelings. You want to keep denying your brother, you're gonna have to deal with the consequences of that upon the return of Mashiach Yahweh.
That's right.
Okay, period. Now, you read this for me, matter of fact. This is via Indian Country Today Media Network. This is no secret in earth, okay, that this has happened. And I'll probably pull the pictures up here. Go ahead.
It says Native Americans possess Middle Eastern artifacts.
Native Americans possess what?
Middle Eastern artifacts.
Native American Indians. I thought they were indigenous to America, right? I thought they sprang out of the damn dirt in America. So why do they have Middle Eastern artifacts? No, I thought they were from Asia. They're Asian. The Bering Land Bridge, right? You people have no idea what you're talking about.
And if you try to say the Olmecs, the Zidonians are already rich with their own shit.
Yeah, that's right.
So we came over here with our own money and artifacts and symbols.
That's right, brother.
Because them stinking ass Hamites was rich as hell.
Oh, yeah.
They didn't need to have no Jerusalem coin.
The Zidonian guys had so much damn money. Y'all, you got simple Israelites that'll open up Ezekiel 28 and read about thinking they talking about the damn devil, the white man. When it says, thou art wiser than Daniel, you ain't talking about no damn white man. You talking about the Zidonians. Right. Niggas was getting so much money. Are you kidding me? God. They had so much money, you gonna get it.
Yeah, God,
you know,
let me get something real quick.
Whatever you got.
I'll show you what they had of ours. Men.
That's right.
Slaves.
That's right, brother.
This is Ezekiel 27 and 13. It says, Javan, Tubal, and Meshach.
Javan, Tubal, and Meshach, right? Who are these people? Where are these lands? These are Japhetic lands, lands that the white man had infiltrated and took over, right up there in Europe. White man is not from Europe. He took over Europe. You go into the history on it, how the Edomites began to set up trading posts throughout Europe. And that's how they began to take Europe over and usurp it from the original people of color of the Japhetic descent. Read on.
They were thy merchants.
They were thy merchants. What does that mean? They were thy merchants. Meaning, Zidon was the plug for these guys, basically. He plugged them up, right? Read.
They traded the persons of men.
You see that? They weren't. Esau was trading men. Who were the men that Esau was trading?
Israelites.
Israelites. And this is long before the transatlantic slave trade.
Right, and that was the prelude to Joel 3rd chapter, I believe. The Zidonians selling us to Esau and vice versa.
Right there, that's it. So it's no wonder that they did it again in the transatlantic slave. They did the same thing again. Right. Because there's no new thing under the sun as it is written. Right. Exactly. Correct? Right. So read.
And vessels of brass in thy market.
That's right.
They had the dome.
That's right. They had all the money. The white man didn't. The white man is not original. He learned and stole his game from other people, not from other, because he ain't a person of color, from people of color, namely Hamites, namely the Zidonians and other Canaanites, the Mizraimites and the Egyptians, and the Cushites. That's who they stole all their game from. And they stole their land from the Japhites. And then some of the things they stole from us as well. Right? So that's what they did. Right? So go ahead, back to that.
Says, I'm going to start back from the top. It says Native Americans possess Middle Eastern artifacts.
Native Americans possess Middle Eastern artifacts. Read.
Natives are Israelites.
Natives are Israelites. Okay? That's the title of this. All right, everybody's reading the document, right? That's just the title. Okay, let's get into it. We're going to go into the proof of that through the Spirit of God. Go ahead.
When Chief Joseph.
Who knows who Chief Joseph is? Fearless leader, one of the most famous so-called Native American Indian Gadites out. You said what? No, he's Chief Joseph. Chief Joseph, right? Nez Pierce. Nez Pierce up there in the northwest where me and this brother is from. All right? So read.
A renowned Nez Pierce leader.
What's Nez Pierce? You know what that is? You think that's the name of their tribe, Nez Pierce? What language is Nez Pierce? It's French. It means pierced nose. It was a custom in their tribe to have the pierced nose. So the white man called them pierced nose. And still call them that to this day when that ain't their name. Read.
It says surrender.
Let's see that, but that's proverb in the Bible. Ain't they a victim of that too? But they're not under the curses. You niggas are liars.
Like I say, this too, they even that Chief Joseph, that's a popular name. You'll see some Native American shops or stores, they'll have the name like Indian Joe. Which paraphrase
Indian Joe, right?
Got one,
Indian Joe. He's very famous, right? I know my pops, he had the poster of him, you know? Well, go ahead.
Well, let me read this document
Go
real
ahead.
quick. Nose piercings dates its origins back in the Middle East around 4,000 years ago. It is also mentioned in the Bible in Genesis 24 and 22, where it is recorded that Abraham asked his oldest servant to find his wife for his son, Isaac. You know the story, but further proving that they brought our customs, which you can read Ezekiel, it says he's going to clean us up, sprinkle water on us, and pierce our nose. These were Hebrew customs from 4,000, 5,000 years ago that the Native Americans brought over here to the Americas.
That's right, brother. That's right.
All right?
That's right. Yeah, yeah. Come on. We know that. That's why you think every black woman wandering around with a nose pierce right now. You think that's a coincidence? It's our custom. It's our culture. And it like the brother said, when it said that the Most High, if he like an Israelite to a woman, he gonna clean her up, deck her out, and put a nose jewel. So that's a symbol of beauty. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why women do that to this day. They think they just, you know, they call it a Monroe. You ain't get it from that damn white girl. She got it from you, right? So
this too, they, like Deacon Kagawa Young was saying, they carried that tradition of the nose rings over here. Another tradition is those fringes, man.
that's right.
We go to them powwows, man. We've been at the powwows lately, and the fringes be decked out, boy. They be having the bells right there.
They might have
a million fringe.
They might have a 1.5 foot long fringe on an 18-inch damn fringe. You see what I'm saying? They're not playing about their fringe. Like you said, the veil and the pomegranate. They have it all at
the lily. We seen the lily.
Yeah, the lily. The store mullet, you idiots. They got this all on their jewelry. This is a symbol that we've been using for years. It finds itself in the street. Wait, look, I got some documents on that. Wait till this come out, man. But go ahead.
I was gonna say, I even seen a guy. Even though we're not supposed to put markings on our body, but he had the lily, just like this, man, on the neck, tattooed on the neck.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, so he worships mullet now. Let's not get off track. Go ahead.
It says a renowned Nez Perce leader.
He was renowned. He's one of the most famous and mightiest generals of all the Native American Indians.
That's right.
Read.
It says surrender to Europeans in
He
1877.
finally surrendered. What is that? Hold that. Give me Genesis 49 and 19.
Come on.
He surrendered to Europeans in what year?
1877.
Guess what? That's Bible prophecy. A lot of people don't know that. That's Bible prophecy. That he would surrender to the Europeans. He would surrender to the white man. Okay, he would surrender to the cavalry. Read that.
Book of Genesis, chapter 49, verse 19.
Read.
Gad.
Gad. That's a North American Indian. What's the word Gad mean? Who knows their Hebrew? What's Gad mean? Trooper, warrior. That's what Gad means. Any of those words. So they're a warrior tribe. Why do you think they fought the white? It's 1877 now. White man that been coming was already there for 300 plus years. And they were still fighting. Warriors.
Right.
The Native American Indians. Some of them small in stature still taking the fight to the devil. Read.
We heard testimony.
We heard testimony from the Apache brother who was at the powwow last weekend, right? So read.
Gad.
Read.
A troop shall overcome him.
A troop shall overcome him. The troop is the cavalry. That's what we read about. When it said he surrendered to Europeans. The troop overcame him. Read.
But he shall overcome at the last.
He shall overcome at the last. Here in these last days, the Native American man off the reservation will overcome against the white man along with the rest of us. Okay? So go ahead.
It says surrender to Europeans in 1877. He gave a special gift.
He gave a special gift. Read.
To General Nelson Appleton Miles.
This is not a secret. This is well documented in history. This artifact, this gift that he gave him is on display. So this is not a secret. It's not a fabrication. Let's find out what this gift was that he gave to this general. Read.
Wrote Vine Deloria. Deloria Jr. In his book, Red Earth. What it says? White cuneiform. Cuneiform tablet. According to the Benjamin Denially of AssyrianTimes.com.
So there is a book out called Red Earth. In the book Red Earth, it documents a white Assyrian cuneiform tablet That's what Chief Joseph gave to this general.
So like it's called Red Earth, White Lies. That's what
Oh, Red Earth, White Lies. Because what did the white man say? You guys came from Asia and you chased woolly mammoths across the Bering Land Bridge that has absolutely no proof of ever existing. And that's who you are. But who they are Israelites. And in that book, Red Earth, White Lie, they expose that through these artifacts. So amongst other books, James Adair, Lost Tribes and Promised Lands. What's the other book I'm thinking about? A Star in the West. They bring all this information out. Read.
Black Indians.
Black Indians, right? So read.
it says the gift received by General was a pendant that turned out to be an ancient Mesopotamian cuneiform.
So Chief Joseph is rocking it like it's a pendant.
Right.
Like it's a, you understand what I'm saying? He's rocking that. But it turned out to be a Mesopotamian. Where's Mesopotamia? What does Mesopotamia mean? Come on, who got it? Come on, man. They taught us that. Middle.
Mesopotamia is the ancient. It's like ancient Babylon.
It's Babylon, but what does Mesopotamia mean?
Middle.
Middle. Land between, or in the middle, Meso, two rivers. Tigris and Euphrates. Right? That's the Neo-Assyrian Babylonian Empire. Right? That were at times together, but at times separate. They were separate at the time when we went into slavery in northern and southern kingdom. The Assyrians took our brothers of the north. We went down south into Babylon. Right? So go ahead.
According to Benjamin Denalia of AssyriaTimes.com, the tablet was translated by Robert Biggs, a professor of Assyriology at the Oriental Institution.
You've heard of Egyptology, right? There's also something called Assyriology. And this guy's a professor. So he translated it and substantiated the authenticity of this artifact Chief Joseph gave to this general. How in the hell do Chief Joseph got an Assyrian cuneiform tablet when that language had been dead for centuries prior to that?
Right.
How did he acquire it? Go ahead.
It says, professor of the Assyriology at the Oriental Institute of the University of Chicago, Professor Biggs found that it was a sales receipt.
It was a
for a lamb.
It was a sales receipt for a lamb. Who likes to eat lamb?
Yeah.
Israelites like to eat lamb. Gadites like to eat lamb. They like to eat buffalo also, right? You know, they making some good buffalo, right? Go ahead.
Right. We had that.
Yeah, right.
It says the chief said that the tablet had been passed down in
The
his
chief
family
said that the tablet had been passed down in his family, Reed,
for many generations.
for many generations. You see that? Read.
And that they had inherited it from their ancestors.
They had did what?
Inherited it from their ancestors.
They inherited an Assyrian tablet, which was a receipt for the purchase of a lamb from their ancestors. Is this a coincidence? But nah, that ain't Arthur. America's not Arthur, right? You niggas are out of your mind. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know the Bible. You don't know history. You don't know geography. You don't know anything. And if you keep denying your brothers, you're going to get judged. If you keep vexing Ephraim, you will get judged. Read.
It says Giggling eliminated the possibility of forgery.
The possibility of this being a forgery has been entirely eliminated by scholars. Read.
Based on the fact that cuneiform had not been deciphered until 1864.
It hadn't been deciphered until 13 years prior to Chief Joseph giving that to the general. Read.
And a potential forger
Read.
would have had to be familiar not only with the ancient language itself, but with the shape of the tablets created by the ancient scribes.
It would have had to have been an elaborate hoax that could not have even been possible because the language was not even being taught because it just had been deciphered. This was not a course you could just take in college in 1877, especially not Chief Joseph, that had minimal contact with the outside world other than going to war with the devil. So go ahead.
Chief Joseph pendant was not the only Mesopotamian tablet found in North America.
That wasn't the only one. There were several others. Mesopotamian artifacts, Hebrew artifacts, and even some Egyptian. Read.
NativeVillage.org mentioned another cuneiform tablet that was found in 1963 in Georgia by Miss Jo Hearn. It was written in the Sumerian language.
It was written in the Sumerian language. That's basically a Mesopotamian. Sumeria is the Assyria Babylonian. Okay, go ahead.
According to Weird Georgia by Mark Schumann and Mark Morin, the tablet discovered by Hearn was a receipt that recorded a purchase of several sheep and goats
You see that?
for a ceremonial sacrifice.
You see that? Our brothers were purchasing lambs, sheep, and goats for ceremonial sacrifices in Assyria. And they kept the receipts and brought them over here to America only so the earth can help the woman. Only so we can utilize these artifacts to substantiate that we are the Israelites. That's the lock in. Go ahead. That's it on that. Go ahead.
Second Ezra chapter 13, verse 40. These are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of OC the king,
Read.
whom Salmanassar, the king of Assyria, led away captive.
The king of where?
King of Assyria.
So that's why our brothers, that's why the Native American Indian tribe of Gad, our brothers, this is why they possess these artifacts. Because they were brought into captivity in Assyria. Read that again.
It says, those are the 10 tribes.
Those are the 10 tribes. One of those tribes are Gad, Reuben. You see what I'm saying? Read.
Which were carried away prisoners out of their own land.
Out of their own land where they carried away prisoners out of the northern part of Israel. They were carried away prisoners. Read.
In the time of OC the king.
When OC or Hosea was king, Hawashai was king. Read.
Whom Salmanassar, the king of Assyria, led away captive.
The king of Assyria, Salmanassar, led them away captive into Assyria. So while in Assyria, they made purchases. When you make a purchase, you get a receipt. Don't you do that now? It's no different than now. We're in slavery in America, right? Go to the store, make a purchase. You're going to get a receipt, right? So go ahead.
And he carried them over the waters.
And he carried them over the waters, read.
And so came they into another land.
And they came into another land. That other land was Assyria, where they got these receipts from. And they kept for generations in their family for the express purpose of proving that they're the Israelites in the latter days. Led by the Spirit. Read.
But they took this counsel among themselves.
So they took a counsel among themselves. Read.
That they would leave the multitude of the heathen.
They want to get the hell away from the Assyrian. Read.
And go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt.
Which was not Turkey. Okay? Which was not Romania. That further country where never mankind dwelt was the Americas. All right? And the fact that they have the artifacts that coincide with that proves it. Read.
That they might there keep their statutes.
That they might there keep their statutes.
That's right.
Read.
Which they never kept in their own land.
And they didn't keep their statutes when they came over here, which is why the cavalry was able to conquer them. So read.
And they entered into the Euphrates by the narrow passage of the river.
On boats. When does it say they built a fleet of boats? They stole them. How about that? Read.
For the Most High then shewed signs for them.
Shewed them signs of the stars, which was the blessing of Issachar and Zebulun to look at them stars and guide them, as it is written. Read.
And held them in the flood till they were passed over. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely of a year and a half.
A year and a half it took this voyage over here to the Americas. Don't take a year and a half to walk to Turkey from Assyria. Okay, we Google mapped it, buddy. 19 days. All right? Read.
It says, and the same region is called Arsarid.
Arsarid, another land. Arsarid. That's where our brothers came to. Native American Indian, Seminole Indian. Right? Latin American.
Right.
Of indigenous descent. Read.
Then dwelt they there until the latter time.
And now they're here.
Right.
And Chief Joseph said, look, I'm one of them. Look at this receipt I got from my ancestors. Disproving.
Right.
Read.
And now, when they shall begin to come.
And now they shall begin to come. And we're in that time now through the Spirit of God.
This is popular. This is already a well-known artifact. It's called the Los Lunas stone, which is basically that's a large boulder on the side of Hidden Mountain near Los Lunas, New Mexico. It's south of Albuquerque. That bears a very regular inscription carved into a flat panel. The stone is also known as the Los Lunas Mystery Stone.
That's right, it's a mystery. They call it a mystery because they're trying to cover something up. What are they trying to cover up? The identity of the people who carved it, the Israelites.
That's right.
Who else gonna have the 10 Commandments in Lashawan production?
That's right.
Paleo Hebrew. Huh? Read.
Or commandment rock.
Uh-huh.
The inscription is interpreted from to be an abridged version of the Decalogue or 10 Commandments in the form of Paleo Hebrew.
You see that? In the form of Paleo Hebrew. It was right there, found on a stone in New Mexico.
That's right.
Because our brothers were there. Hopi, Navajo, them tribes. Right? Israelites.
Hey, that's right.
Gadites. Read.
Hey, look, this right here proves they knew the name. A letter group resembling the Tetragrammaton.
Oh, Yahweh. They
That's
have
right.
the name of Yahweh there. Read.
Or Yahweh makes three appearances.
3 times. So they knew the name. And they got that clip going around YouTube where they said it. Yahweh. I don't know what he said. He said Yahweh has sent you here.
Yeah, that's right.
Right? Read.
The stone is controversial in that some claim the inscription is pre-Columbian.
That's right. It's controversial because some claim that it's pre-Columbian, which it would have to be. What does that mean? Why is it controversial if it's pre-Columbian?
It says right here why.
Go ahead.
Because it says, and therefore proof of early Semitic contact with the Americans.
Not early Semitic contact with the Americas, that the people of the Americas are Semitic.
That's right.
And more exclusively are Hebrew. And
That's
even
right.
more exclusively are Israelites.
That's right.